Hey nerdies, it's Kathleenmms here, and I just wanted to wish you a very happy new year. Special thanks to Remakes for making that awesome intro for me. Now, every year I make a video talking about my favorite games that came out that year. And 2014 is a little bit challenging because this year was awkward for gaming. It's kind of like when my grandma asked me why I don't have a boyfriend yet. Awkward. So I was debating on whether or not I wanted to make a video just trash talking the shitty games that came out this year and the disappointments of this year, or whether or not I wanted to make a video talking about the few games that I enjoyed this year. So I'm going to do a little bit of both. So let's get started with the top 5 games that I'm really glad I didn't spend my hard-earned cash on in 2014. One on my list of games that I'm glad I didn't purchase this year is Assassin's Creed Unity. Now, I kind of look at Assassin's Creed as Land Before Time. You know those adorable little dinosaur movies that take something that's great and just overdo it over and over and over, it just loses the magic. And that's what Assassin's Creed has become for me. And I'm sorry for those of you hardcore Assassin's Creed fans. I think that everyone is entitled to their opinion, and if you disagree with me and my list, that's totally cool. I'm not one of those people, not one of those gamers that feels entitled to all of their opinions. I'm totally cool with you having your own opinion. But for me, Assassin's Creed just kind of lost the magic after Assassin's Creed 2. Number 2 on my list is Elder Scrolls Online. Now, I was a huge fan of Skyrim. I actually wasn't a big fan of the Elder Scrolls series just because I thought it wasn't the game for me. And then one of my friends convinced me to give Skyrim a try, and I'm really glad I did because I fell in love with the Elder Scrolls. And despite all of the hilarious glitches, there were just moments in the game that made the entire experience worthwhile. I was excited, like many fans of the game, to be able to experience this game that I love with my friends. But then I became a little bit hesitant when I heard some not so great things about the Elder Scrolls Online, and I'm quite glad that I didn't purchase it because it had relatively lackluster reviews, and it seems that it has a lot of problems.
You are not my priority right now.
No, I know that.
Now, number 3 on my list might seem like a little bit of a cop-out because I did play this game entirely, but I didn't purchase it because I rented it. But I want to make a point in saying that I'm really glad I did not pay for this game as soon as it came out like I planned to. And this game is Watch Dogs. Now, I bought into the hype of this game, got super excited, thought that it was gonna be the answer to next gen, that it was gonna be amazing and blow my mind. And the hype made it seem worse than it really was. And you know, Watch Dogs, it wasn't a absolutely terrible game, but it just wasn't that great. When I think of Watch Dogs, I think of like Keystone Light, you know? Keystone Light it's a beer, you know? You can get it for super cheap in college towns and it'll do the job. It'll get you drunk. It'll help you have a good time if you have enough of them. But when it comes down to it, Keystone is a shitty beer. It's like someone drank a little bit of beer, swished it around in their mouth, and then spit it back into the can and handed it to you. That's what Keystone Light is like, okay? And if you're not a beer person, you don't know what the fuck I just said, but as a girl that loves beer, if someone was to hand me a Keystone Light and say, this is an amazing Keystone Light, you should pay $60 for it, I would laugh my ass off. And that is why I am glad I didn't pay $60 to play Watch Dogs, because it was Keystone Light. You know, it entertained me for a couple of hours, but it was shit.
Well, you've been dead a long time, so you're gonna see a lot of things you won't understand.
Speaking of games that taste like Keystone Light, there is Destiny. Now, I didn't really think I was gonna pre-order Destiny. I heard some good things about it. It looked gorgeous in previews and it seemed like a lot of fun, but I thought, you know what, I'm gonna pre-order Borderlands, and I'm really glad I pre-ordered Borderlands instead of pre-ordering Destiny because it was overhyped. Yeah, sure, there's things about Destiny that a lot of people like. A lot of people enjoy spending copious amounts of hours leveling up in that game, and there's great things about it from what I hear. But the best part of the game is the first 4 or 5 hours of the game. The story ends. There's no story, and the reason why that's so disappointing, more so than usual, is because it's created by the creators of Halo. Game developers and writers that have created amazing games with amazing stories in the past should hopefully create a game that has at least a palatable story. Number 1 on my list is The Sims 4. Now, I've been a fan of The Sims since, I think, I was in 2nd grade or something ridiculous like that. Unfortunately, The Sims is financed by EA, one of the most corrupt game companies in the universe. I'm pretty sure aliens look down on our planet, look at EA, and think, why would we ever talk to this planet? This planet is corrupt bullshit. Because EA likes to do this amazing thing of taking out content that should have been included in the original game and then charging you an extra $30 to $60 just to play content that should have been included in the original game. And this is something that's just a fun new trend in gaming, but it is so bad in The Sims. It's gotten so bad in Sims 4 that they took out features that were in Sims 3 just so that they could make you pay for them in the future. From what I've seen of The Sims 4, it's hella disappointing. I'm just gonna stick to Sims 3. You know, I'm just gonna stick to Sims 3. It seems more impressive to me. And god damn it, EA. Now, despite all of the disappointments, there were some great games that were released this year. In many ways, 2014 was the year of the remake. There was Final Fantasy X, which in my opinion was a great remake, Grand Theft Auto 5, The Last of Us Remastered, and even though this might seem like overkill, I was quite satisfied with all of these remakes that I at least purchased. Some remakes were a little bit overkill, like the announcement that Final Fantasy VII is being re-released on next-gen consoles. And there were entertaining DLCs that were released this year. In my opinion, the BioShock Infinite DLC, Burial at Sea, should be considered BioShock 4. It was an incredible DLC that contributed so much to the plot of BioShock as a whole, and it made BioShock Infinite so much more meaningful for me as a player. And then there's Left Behind, The Last of Us DLC, that expanded Ellie's story and allowed us to see why Ellie is the woman that she is, the young girl that she is, and it personally made me relate to Ellie even more and care for her character even more. The Last of Us will always have a special place in my heart, but the Left Behind made The Last of Us legendary for me. Also, I have to say, 2014 was the year that Telltale Games shined. They released so many amazing games this year.
Reese to Sector D451 for trash cleanup, because that is your job now. to clean up trash with your bare hands.
Sorry, you were saying something? I interrupted you.
I have to say, Tales from Borderlands is my personal favorite game from 2014. It was my top #1 game from this year. The pacing was perfection, the story, the acting, the humor. It was so well balanced that I have to say it was my absolute favorite. And I still have to review it. I'm sorry, I've kind of gone a little bit behind with the holidays, but I would definitely encourage those of you who haven't tried it to give it a try because the pacing is incredible and it's quite fast for a Telltale game. So even though 2014 didn't really form a conventional list of favorite games for me, there were some amazing experiences, and getting to talk to people involved in some of my favorite games was absolutely amazing. And the fact that my subscriber count has tripled this year, I didn't see that coming at all, and I'm so appreciative of all my subscribers and all of the amazing comments and messages that I get on a daily basis. So cheers to another amazing year of YouTube videos, of Let's Plays, of reviews, and just silly ass videos that I'm gonna make with you all. Cheers to all of the amazing experiences that are to come, and to the bonding and the laughter. I love you, nerdies. I fucking love you. You all have such a special place in my heart, and we are going to kick ass next year. We are going to just multiply our nerdy army tenfold, and we are going to have a blast. So here's to 2015. I should go.
Or did you both double dutch?
I actually paid. Because I wanted to. I took initiative. Like I said, I like taking initiative, okay?
It's very hot.